My wife said no woman would ever want me. She called me small in front of everyone. I didn't react. I said, "All right." I adjusted my watch. I walked out calmly. But she wasn't expecting who was waiting. I'm 36. I've been married for 8 years. I thought I had a decent life. Not perfect, but stable. I worked hard, came home every night, paid the bills without complaint. My wife had her career, I had mine. We had a routine. Looking back now, I realize routine isn't the same as happiness. But I didn't see it then. We were at her company's annual dinner last Friday night. One of those corporate events where everyone pretends to enjoy rubber chicken and cheap wine while networking. I wasn't thrilled about going, but she'd been insistent for weeks, said it was crucial for her image at work. So I put on my best suit, the navy one she'd bought me for my birthday, and showed up with a smile. The evening started fine. Her coworkers seemed nice enough. I made small talk about the weather, about sports, about nothing that mattered. I've always been good at blending into the background at these things. I'm not the guy who commands a room. I'm the guy who listens, who nods, who makes other people feel heard. My wife used to say that was one of my best qualities, that I made her feel seen. Funny how things change. Dinner wrapped up around 9. People were on their 3rd or 4th drinks. Inhibitions were dropping. Her boss, this guy who wears too much cologne and laughs too loud at his own jokes, started holding court at our table. My wife was hanging on his every word, laughing at everything he said. I noticed, but I didn't think much of it. She always got more animated around her superiors. Then one of her coworkers, some guy from accounting with a receding hairline and an overinflated ego, made some comment about relationships. Something about how women always want more, how men can never quite measure up. A few people laughed uncomfortably. That's when my wife decided to chime in. "Trust me, some of us have learned to settle," she said, loud enough for half the table to hear. No woman would ever actually want him if she knew what she was getting. The conversation didn't stop completely, but it stumbled. People suddenly became very interested in their drinks, in the centerpieces, in anything but looking at me. I turned to her slowly. She was smiling, not a nervous smile, not an "oops, did I say that out loud" smile, a deliberate, cruel smile. The accounting guy, to his credit, tried to deflect. "Come on, that's a bit harsh, don't you think?" She waved him off. "I'm just being honest. I mean, look at him. He's small, in every way that matters, if you know what I mean." She actually winked when she said it. Several people gasped. A few laughed nervously. Her boss looked like he'd just won the lottery, grinning from ear to ear like this was the most entertaining thing he'd seen all year. I felt every eye at that table on me. Some people looked embarrassed for me. Others looked curious, waiting to see if I'd make a scene. My wife just kept smiling, like she'd said something clever. I didn't yell. I didn't stand up and defend myself. I didn't throw my drink in her face, though I'll admit the thought crossed my mind. I just looked at her for a long, quiet moment. Then I said one word. "All right." I reached down and adjusted my watch, a nervous habit I've had since college. Then I pushed my chair back, stood up, and walked out of that restaurant. I didn't rush. I didn't storm off. I just walked, calm and steady, like I was leaving any other dinner. Behind me, I heard her voice. "Where are you going? Are you serious right now?" She sounded annoyed, not apologetic, like I was the one embarrassing her by leaving. I got to my car, sat in the driver's seat, and just breathed for a minute. My hands weren't shaking. My heart wasn't pounding. I felt something I hadn't felt in years. Clarity, like a fog had lifted, and I could finally see what had been right in front of me the whole time. I drove home, poured myself 2 fingers of whiskey, and sat on the couch in the dark. I didn't turn on the TV. I didn't check my phone. I just sat there, thinking about every little comment, every subtle dig, every moment over the past 8 years where she'd made me feel exactly how she'd described me tonight. Small. She came home around midnight. I heard her heels clicking on the hardwood floor, heard her purse hit the counter with more force than necessary. She was drunk. I could tell by the way she moved, loud and uncoordinated. "Are you seriously mad about a joke?" she said, her words slightly slurred. Everyone was laughing. "You're being so sensitive right now." I didn't turn around. "It wasn't a joke." Oh my God, here we go. She walked around the couch to face me. You're going to pout now? Give me the silent treatment like a child? No, I said calmly. I'm going to bed. You can sleep in the guest room tonight. She blinked at me, confused. Excuse me? You're kicking me out of my own bedroom? It's not your bedroom, it's our bedroom, and right now I don't want you in it. She laughed, but it sounded hollow. You're actually serious? Over a stupid joke at a work dinner? Yes, I said. I'm serious. Her face changed then. The amusement drained away, replaced by something cold. You're pathetic. You know that? This is exactly what I was talking about. You can't even take a joke. You're weak. I stood up, looked her directly in the eyes. Go to the guest room. She called me more names. Controlling. Manipulative. She said I was proving her point, that I was small in every way that mattered. Then she grabbed her phone and stormed off to the guest room, slamming the door hard enough to rattle the pictures on the wall. I went to bed but didn't sleep much. I kept replaying the night in my head. Not just tonight, but years of nights. Years of small comments. You're too quiet. Why can't you be more assertive? My friends' husbands are so much more ambitious. I'd brushed them all off as her just venting, just being stressed. Now I saw them for what they were. Death by 1,000 cuts. Update one Saturday morning, she acted like nothing had happened. She came into the kitchen around 10, kissed me on the cheek like she always did, and asked what I wanted for breakfast. Her voice was cheerful, casual, like she hadn't publicly humiliated me 12 hours earlier. I was standing at the counter, making coffee. I didn't respond to her question. She sighed, loud and dramatic. Are you really still upset about last night? Come on, I said I was sorry. I turned to look at her. No, you didn't. Well, I'm saying it now. I'm sorry, okay? It was the wine talking. You know I didn't mean it. Yes, you did, I said. She rolled her eyes, leaning against the counter. Fine, I meant it a little. But you have to admit, you're not exactly assertive. You let people walk all over you, including me. Sometimes I just need you to be more of a man, you know? I set my coffee mug down carefully. Is that what you think? It's what I know, she said. You're passive. You never stand up for yourself. That's why I said what I said last night. Maybe if you had a little more spine, I wouldn't feel the need to point it out. To humiliate me in front of your coworkers? She paused, then shrugged. I wasn't trying to humiliate you. I was just being honest. You're way too sensitive about everything. I took a breath. Then I said the words I'd been thinking about all night. I want a divorce. She laughed. Actually laughed. No, you don't. Yes, I do. The smile slowly faded from her face. You're not serious. I've never been more serious about anything in my life. She stared at me for a long moment. I could see her brain working, trying to figure out if this was a bluff. Then she said, You won't actually do it. You don't have the guts. Watch me. She stood there for another few seconds, then turned and walked out of the kitchen. I heard her on the phone minutes later, talking to someone, probably her mother. She was crying, those loud, dramatic sobs she uses when she wants sympathy, the kind that sound almost theatrical. I pulled out my phone and started researching divorce lawyers. I found one with good reviews, the kind of attorney whose face is on billboards all over the city, the kind who doesn't lose. I called his office, fully expecting to leave a voicemail on a Saturday. He answered on the third ring. I need a divorce, I told him. Fast, clean, I don't care what it costs. I can do that, he said. His voice was calm, professional. Tell me what we're working with. Assets? Property? The house is in my name only. I bought it 2 years before we got married. I have investment accounts she doesn't know about. Around $500,000, give or take. Good. Very good. Employment situation? I work full-time in finance. She works part-time at her company, has for about 2 years. I've been covering probably 80% of our expenses. Even better, this should be straightforward. I'll have my team start on the paperwork. We'll be in touch Monday morning. Sunday was silent. She stayed in the guest room. I stayed in the bedroom. We didn't speak. I heard her moving around the house, heard her on the phone multiple times, but we didn't cross paths. It was like living with a ghost. Update 2. Monday morning, I went to work like it was any other day. I sat in meetings, responded to emails, talked to clients. Nobody there knew anything was wrong. I'm good at compartmentalizing. Always have been. Around noon, my lawyer called. Papers are drafted. I'm having someone serve her this afternoon. Where will she be? At her office. She usually works Mondays. Perfect. We'll serve her there around 3. You sure that's a good idea? Her coworkers will see. You want this done fast and clean, right? Public service puts pressure on her, trust me. At 3:15 p.m., my phone rang. It was her. She was screaming so loud I had to hold the phone away from my ear. You had me served at work? Are you out of your mind? Everyone saw it. The entire office watched me get handed divorce papers. Good, I said calmly. Good? What is wrong with you? You're trying to humiliate me now? Is this revenge? No, I'm trying to divorce you. There's a difference. Her voice broke. I can't believe you're actually doing this. Over one comment. One stupid comment at a dinner. It wasn't one comment, I said. It was 8 years of comments. I'm just finally listening to them. She hung up. That evening around 6, she showed up at the house with her mother in tow. Her mother has despised me from day one. She's always thought I wasn't good enough for her daughter, not successful enough, not exciting enough, not whatever enough. She walked into my house like she owned the place. You need to stop this nonsense immediately, her mother said, not even bothering with a greeting. You're being childish and vindictive. She made a mistake. Everyone makes mistakes. She's made a lot of mistakes, I said. I'm done forgiving them. You're going to destroy her reputation. Everyone at her company is talking about this. You're ruining her career over your fragile ego. That's not my problem anymore. Her mother's face went red. You're a pathetic little man. No wonder she said what she said. You're nothing. You've always been nothing. My daughter could have done so much better. I smiled at her. Actually smiled. And yet, I'm the one who owns this house. I'm the one with the money. I'm the one with the lawyer who charges more per hour than you probably make in a week. So if I'm nothing, what does that make you? She opened her mouth, closed it, opened it again. No words came out. My wife was crying in the corner, mascara running down her face. Her mother grabbed her arm and they left without another word. Update 3. The next 3 weeks were a masterclass in psychological warfare. My wife tried everything in the playbook. First came the apologies. Long, tearful phone calls where she swore she'd never meant any of it, that she loved me, that she'd do anything to fix this. I didn't answer most of them. The ones I did answer, I kept short. Talked to my lawyer. Then came the threats. She'd take me for everything I had. She'd tell everyone what a terrible husband I'd been. She'd make sure I never saw a cent of my money. Her lawyer apparently informed her that none of those things were legally possible, so that phase didn't last long. Then she started showing up at my office. First time she was calm, asking to talk. I had her escorted out by security. Second time, she was crying, begging. Security again. Third time, she was screaming in the lobby about what a monster I was. Security called the police. She didn't come back after that. Her coworkers started reaching out to me on social media. Apparently, she'd been spinning quite a story at work. I was abusive. I controlled all the money. I'd isolated her from her friends and family. I'd threatened her. None of it was true, but she needed a narrative. She needed to be the victim. Most people blocked her or ignored her messages. But one person, the accounting guy from the dinner, sent me a message I didn't expect. Hey man, I just wanted to say I'm sorry about what went down at the dinner. That was completely out of line. Also, I don't know if this matters to you now, but I think you should know something. She's been seeing someone from work. Has been for at least 3 or 4 months that I know of. Thought you deserved to know. My heart didn't race when I read it. I felt vindicated. I wrote back, Who? His response came immediately. Her boss, the guy who was sitting at the head of the table that night. Of course it was him. The pieces fell into place so perfectly it was almost funny. The late nights at the office, the sudden interest in her appearance, the way she'd been hanging on his every word at the dinner, the way he'd grinned when she humiliated me. I forwarded the message to my lawyer. He forwarded it to her lawyer. 2 days later, her lawyer called mine. They wanted to settle. She'd sign whatever we put in front of her. The meeting was set for the following Monday at my lawyer's office. Nice building downtown, all glass and steel and expensive art on the walls. Her lawyer was there when I arrived. Then she showed up. She looked terrible. No makeup. Hair pulled back in a messy ponytail. Dark circles under her eyes. She wouldn't look at me as she sat down across the table. Her lawyer slid the papers across. My client agrees to all terms. No alimony, no claim to the house or any property acquired before the marriage. She keeps her car and her personal belongings. That's the extent of it. My lawyer looked at me. I nodded. I signed every page. She signed every page. The whole thing took maybe 15 minutes. 8 years of marriage ended with signatures on paper. As we were walking out, she grabbed my arm in the hallway. Her touch felt foreign. "I didn't mean it," she whispered. "Any of it. I was drunk. I was stupid. I love you. I really do love you." I looked at her hand on my arm. Then I looked at her face. Really looked at her, maybe for the first time in years. "No, you don't," I said quietly. "You never did. You loved what I provided, the stability, the house, the safety. But you never loved me." I pulled my arm away and walked to the elevator. She was crying behind me. I didn't turn around. Update 4. 2 months after the divorce was finalized, I was settling into my new life. I'd sold the house, too many bad memories soaked into those walls. I bought a condo downtown, smaller but modern, with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. It felt clean, new, mine. Work was good. Actually, work was better than good. Without the constant stress of a failing marriage, I'd thrown myself into a project I'd been putting off for years. My boss noticed. I got a promotion. Not a small one either. Senior position, significant raise, corner office, the kind of success I'd always been capable of but never quite reached because I was too busy managing someone else's emotions. Then, one Tuesday afternoon, I got a call from an unknown number. Usually I don't answer those, but something made me pick up. "Hi, is this you?" The voice was male, young, uncertain. "Who's asking?" "My name is..." "Look, this is weird. I'm calling because I think you should know something about your ex-wife." I almost hung up. Then curiosity got the better of me. "I'm listening." "I work at her company. Worked, actually, past tense. The whole place is imploding right now. Your ex and her boss, the one she was seeing, turns out they weren't exactly subtle. HR launched an investigation after someone filed a complaint. Apparently, there were some pretty inappropriate emails. Company property, company time. They both got fired last week." I sat down at my desk. "Why are you telling me this?" "Because she's been telling everyone that you're the reason she lost her job, that you called her company and made up lies about her. I was there that night, at the dinner. I saw what she did to you. I just thought you should know what she's saying now, in case it comes back to you." "I appreciate the heads up," I said, "but I haven't contacted her company, haven't spoken to anyone there." I figured. "Look, man, I just wanted you to know she's not doing well. I heard she moved back in with her mom. The guy, her boss, he dropped her the second they both got fired. Didn't even last a week after that." We talked for a few more minutes. He gave me details I didn't really need, but listened to anyway. After we hung up, I sat there for a while, processing. I didn't feel happy about her situation. I didn't feel sad either. I felt nothing. She was a character in a story I'd finished reading. That weekend, I went to a charity event one of my colleagues had invited me to. I almost didn't go, I've never been big on those things, but my colleague had insisted, said I needed to get out more. So I went. That's where I met her. The woman from the coffee shop I'd mentioned before. Turns out she was volunteering at the event. We'd chatted a few times when I'd grabbed coffee near my building, but this was different. She was different outside that coffee shop. Confident. Funny. She made me laugh more in 2 hours than I'd laughed in 2 years of my marriage. We exchanged numbers, started texting, then coffee dates turned into dinner dates. She didn't know about my ex. I mean, she knew I was divorced, but I didn't dump the whole story on her. She didn't need to carry that weight. Update 5. 3 months into dating her, things were going well. Really well. She was everything my ex wasn't. She built me up instead of tearing me down. She asked about my day and actually listened. She laughed at my jokes, even the bad ones. She made me feel like I mattered. Then one Saturday afternoon, I got an email from my ex. The subject line was just, "Please read this." I almost deleted it without opening it. But something made me click. The email was long, pages long, a rambling mess of apologies and justifications and excuses. She said she'd made the biggest mistake of her life. She said she'd been in therapy, working on herself. She said she understood now how badly she'd hurt me. She said she wanted another chance. She said no one would ever love me like she did. I read the whole thing. Then I read it again. And I felt nothing. No anger, no sadness, no temptation to respond or engage. Just nothing. I deleted it. The woman I was dating, we'll call her my girlfriend now because that's what she was becoming, noticed I was distracted that evening. We were at her place, cooking dinner together. "You okay?" she asked, chopping vegetables. "Yeah," I said. "My ex emailed me today." She stopped chopping. "Oh, what did she want?" "Another chance, apparently." And I deleted it. She smiled, went back to chopping. Good. That was it. No jealousy, no interrogation, no drama, just acceptance and trust. It was such a foreign feeling that I almost didn't know how to process it. A week later, I ran into someone from my ex-wife's company. We were at the same restaurant, and he recognized me. He came over to say hello. "Hey man, how've you been?" "Good," I said. "Really good, actually." "That's great to hear. Listen, I just wanted to say, we all felt terrible about what happened at that dinner. That was so out of line. And just so you know, most people at the company were on your side. We thought what she did was inexcusable." "I appreciate that." "Yeah, well, karma has a way of working things out. She's not doing great from what I've heard. Still living with her mom. Can't find work. Put you down as a reference on a job application, can you believe that? Obviously, that didn't go well for her when they actually called you." "They didn't call me," I said. "Oh, well, maybe they will. Just thought you should know." We chatted for a few more minutes, then he went back to his table. My girlfriend asked what that was about. I gave her the short version. She squeezed my hand. "You know what I love about you?" she said. "What?" "You don't talk about her, you don't obsess, you don't let her live in your head, you just moved on. That takes strength." I'd never thought about it that way, but she was right. I had moved on. Completely. My ex was a closed chapter, not because I'd forgiven her, I'm not sure I have, but because I'd simply stopped caring. She didn't matter anymore. Final update. It's been 6 months since everything fell apart. 6 months since that dinner. The divorce has been finalized for 4 months now. I'm in a completely different place, literally and figuratively. I'm still in my downtown condo. Still at the same company, but in that new senior position that challenges me every day. My girlfriend and I are still together. We're taking things slow, which feels right. No rush, no pressure. Just two people enjoying each other's company. Last month I heard through the grapevine that my ex got engaged. To some guy she met at a bar, apparently. 3 months of dating and they're engaged. Her mother is thrilled, from what I've been told. I guess she finally found someone who meets her standards. When I heard the news, my girlfriend was worried I'd be upset. I wasn't. I genuinely wished my ex well, not because I'm some saint, but because her being happy somewhere else means she'll finally stop trying to worm her way back into my life. I saw her once, about a month ago, completely by accident. I was at a restaurant with my girlfriend, and my ex walked in with her fiancé. We made eye contact for maybe 2 seconds. She looked like she wanted to come over. I looked away and kept talking to my girlfriend like nothing had happened. My ex left 10 minutes later. My girlfriend asked if that was her. I said yes. She asked if I was okay. I said yes. And I meant it. People ask me sometimes if I'm angry about what happened. About the 8 years I wasted on someone who treated me like I was disposable. I'm not angry. Anger requires investment. Anger means you still care. I don't care anymore. She's just someone I used to know. Here's what I learned from all of this. When someone shows you who they really are, believe them. Don't wait for a second demonstration. Don't make excuses. Don't hope they'll change. Just believe them and act accordingly. My ex showed me exactly who she was that night at the dinner. Actually, she'd been showing me for years, but I'd been too comfortable, too complacent, too afraid of change to see it. That night, she just said it loud enough that I couldn't ignore it anymore. She thought I was small. She thought I'd shrink. She thought I'd take it because I always had before. She thought I'd prove her right by staying. Instead, I walked away, and I kept walking, and I built a life that's better than anything we had together. I'm not small. I never was. I just spent too many years with someone who needed me to believe I was so she could feel bigger. Now I know better. The woman I'm with now, she sees me differently. She sees strength where my ex saw weakness. She sees confidence where my ex saw passivity. She sees a partner where my ex saw a provider. And that makes all the difference. My ex was wrong about a lot of things, but she was especially wrong about one thing. Plenty of women would want me. The right woman already does.